2018 Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo Review. The good points of Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo. Glitziest luxury camper van yet. Beautifully crafted camping gear. Undaunting they are driving day to day. Double bed very comfortable. The bad points of Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo. Up to 5 seats but only 4 beds. Much pricier than VW California. Sliding door on wrong side for RHD. This chrome-laden camper van may be the Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo. It's depending on the V-Class MPV, an automobile that's essentially a plush version of Mercedes Vito van. While previous iterations with the Marco Polo have already been sold around the continent for a few years, they have never made it to your UK in right-hand drive, as yet. For 2017, Mercedes relented and launched the V-Class Marco Polo in Britain, meant to compete while using Volkswagen California. They're the only real 2 factory-fit camper vans made in-house by mainstream car makers. All the other campers available on the market are made by third-party conversion specialists. Mercedes Marco Polo, the stove choice. Choose from 2 the latest models of in the UK, both easily obtainable in 2 trim levels. V220D Sport or AMG line. V250D Sport or AMG line. Both models utilize the same 2.1-litre 4-cylinder turbodiesel engine, familiar from generations of Mercedes-Benz road cars. The lustier V250D model offers 190 horsepower of power and 440 Nm of torque. The entry-level V220D a much more modest 163 horsepower and 380 Nm. Because that is a leisure vehicle where outright performance is a lesser priority, we'd happily recommend either derivative. However, should you often tow, travel in hilly areas or carry heavy loads, we'd upgrade towards the V250D. Just look out for punchy prices, which start at well north of £50,000. Make no mistake, this can be noticeably costlier than the VW California competition. What does long mean from the badge? Good question. The full name with the Marco Polo models will be the V220D long and V250D long. This refers on the length from the body. The V-Class MPV, on which the camper relies, can be acquired with the range of 3 lengths, which vehicle uses the center version, confusingly called long. It's consequently very roomy, with lots of room to be used as a day-to-day people carrier, or at weekends if this converts easily right into a mobile home. The Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo's party trick is its glamping transformation. Park up, press a control button and the roof raises electrically, to generate extra headroom from the passenger compartment so that you can stand up while cooking in the fitted kitchenette. When night falls, pull a lever along with a separate base pulls down on the ceiling to generate a rooftop double bedroom. The rear seats fold flat to convert in a second double bed underneath, creating this a viable 4-berth home from home. Note that the harder comfortable bed for grown-ups expires above, where you'll gain from a super flat mattress with clever springs for additional padding. How does the Marco Polo drive? For this sort of big vehicle, it stretches to 5.1 meter long. The Marco Polo is remarkably an easy task to watch along British roads. All versions come which has a 7-speed automatic gearbox and gratification is adequate for keeping up at motorway speeds. There are several creaks and groans over crashy road surfaces, however, these are no worse compared to any other commercial or camper van we've driven, plus it rides reasonably well for this sort of big vehicle. Happily, a reversing camera is standard, which makes it a cinch to park up. The verdict. The Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo is usually a highly luxurious camper van that's deeply desirable. The thoughtfulness in the conversion is impressive, plus a family of 4 will be really comfy living on board stay. As a camper van, it's peerless, with quality that merely shades the alwachi impressive VW California. its inevitable rival. Only steep costs hold it back. The Mercedes has punchy pricing to check its lofty market positioning. Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo review to discover how Merc's new camper van stacks up. Choose from 2 diesel options. Performance adequate for many needs. Easily keeps program motorway traffic. Choosing which Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo is right for you is reassuringly easy. There are only 2 models sold from the UK, both 2.1-litre 4-cylinder diesels, tuned for various power outputs. Diesel-only Marco Polo lineup. The V220D will be the entry-level model, as well as its 163 horsepower and 380 Nm of pulling power bring adequate performance. It's well judged for that type of vehicle, delivering 0 to 62 miles per hour in 12.3 seconds and also a somewhat academic top speed of 120 miles per hour. Step up to your V250D for just a slightly more muscular 190 horsepower of power and 440 Nm of torque. This can be a heavy vehicle weighing some 2.5 tons, therefore, the extra brawn helps achieve benchmark performance figures of 9.8 seconds for your 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint and 124 miles per hour flat out. Automatic only transmission. All Marco Polos are rear-wheel drive are available with the familiar Mercedes-Benz 7-speed automatic gearbox, which blurs gear changes seamlessly. The transmission really suits the V-Class's laid-back vibe, in most cases has the right cog in place for the right time. One nice feature we enjoyed was the familiar Mercedes hill hold feature. Depress the brake pedal fully, plus the vehicle will likely be held stationary, handy for red lights and temporary pauses if you would like to engage park or apply the parking brake. Rides and handles okay for the camper. Not the smoothest ride comfort. Car drivers won't feel intimidated. The Marco Polo is really a remarkably unintimidating vehicle drive and automobile, even in case you've only ever driven standard passenger cars. It is very long, at 5.1 meters, although not dauntingly so. That's no more than an S-Class wearing the 3-pointed badge, by way of example. With bluff, upright sides along with a clear view ahead, visibility is really remarkably good on the driver's seat, although it's a waste the front quarter light windows from the door mirrors are incredibly tiny and ineffective. Mercedes fits active parking assist with rear view camera as standard to aid guide you into vehicle spaces. How does the Marco Polo handle? The Marco Polo betrays its van-based roots in several ways: ride comfort, the opportunity to steamroller out bumps within the road, and general refinement, and a patch for the best family cars. But that's perhaps an unfair comparison to create. This is often a 2.5-ton camper on wheels, don't forget, the other based over a Vito commercial vehicle. It's going they are driving differently from an A-Class hatchback or C-Class saloon. It doesn't ride badly, but there are far more shakes and shudders in comparison to a regular passenger car. It's over a par having its key rival, the VW California. The steering is good enough, helping you to hustle the Marco Polo along a back road with a few gusto. And it's very at home using a motorway cruise. Lovely cabin reeks of quality. Good ergonomics, an easy task to use. Some very good class materials. The cabin on the V-Class Marco Polo can be a cosseting destination for hobby. The quality from the dashboard is truly one of its ace cards. It's essentially a carbon copy in the layout used across much in the company's C-Class range. Materials are first-rate, and you're reminded in this constantly because you clasp the common leather tire. We love the cool, sophisticated round air vents and multimedia system, which relies on a tablet-style display mounted atop the dashboard to own all music, navigation and trip computer functions. You'll quickly neglect the V-Class's commercial vehicle origins with this feel-good cabin, trust us. The seats are just easily enough to discover a decent driving position, and it also is very easy to see out from the Marco Polo. The leader adjusts for rake and reach. The only feature we found annoying was the rather tacky, aftermarket user interface operating the lifting roof. It looks such as the afterthought that it's a comfortable family chariot by day. Comes into its own for the campsite, ride, handling betray van routes. The cabin in the Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo is often a cosseting destination for hobby. Both front seats are captain's armchairs, meaning they're able to swivel 180 degrees to create an impromptu place of work for meetings or picnics. They're comfy and possess adjustable armrests for additional support on long journeys. One area that lets the Mercedes down could be the number of rear seats available. The VW California is usually optionally equipped, having a third row of seats, turning it into a full 7-seater, even if you lose the wardrobe and cooking area to be a result. The Marco Polo comes having a 2-seat rear bench as standard. You may spec an extra captain's chair that slots in the loading rails that run the length in the cabin, but even that only allows seating for 5. Remember this in the event you want to make use of your camper van as being a family bus in the week. Marco Polo Refinement. Mercedes Marco Polo Refinement is reasonable, together with the diesel engines rarely audible once at cruising speed. There is very a lot of wind noise, but that's inevitable with this kind of big, squared-off camper van. Also, it's primarily because from the parts added for your conversion. But within the whole, that is a quiet, comfy spot to while away long family trips away. Your son or daughter will love the back table that could be erected to supply a work or play bench. Good kit levels even on base model. Camping machines are standard fit. Good connectivity on every Marco Polo. The Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo comes that has a generous roster of exercise machines as standard fit with virtually no need to pay for extras. However, should you want to personalize your camper van, there is usually a long list of optional extras and accessories to tailor you by the car. Note which the wind-out warning, that's almost compulsory on the vehicle with this type, is definitely an optional extra. It is very likely you'll need to spec this so that you can provide shelter after your cooking and eating. Standard Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo equipment. Sport trim. Every model comes with all the following standard equipment to generate it comfy camper: built-in kitchenette, 2-hob oven, fridge, wardrobe, electrically powered pop-up roof as well as double beds. Further comfort is brought from the standard fit yacht-style wooden flooring, a transportable camping table and a couple of deck chairs, which stow from the boot. Creature comforts on all Marco Polos include 3-zone climate control, tinted rear windows for privacy, 18-inch alloy wheels, Garmin sat-nav, leather upholstery and parking cameras. The sliding side door is electrically operated on all models. That's what you can get for paying top dollar from the first place. AMG line. Pay a supplementary £2,140 and you are able to step as much as AMG line, which adds a smattering of fashionable posing features: 19-inch alloy wheels, sports suspension, metallic paint, an AMG rear lip spoiler as well as a rather enticing carbon effect dashboard finish. Optional Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo extras. Lane tracking package. New buyers can make the lane tracking pack, which adds blind spot assist and lane keeping assist, to nudge the vehicle back into lane on motorways. Be warned that this lane keep assist buzzes annoyingly in the event you wander through your lane. We had arrived so irked, we appeared turning it. Driving assistance package. For yet another premium, you may further upgrade the Marco Polo with Distronic Plus, adaptive cruise control, blind spot assist, to warn of traffic lurking inside your mirror's blind spot, pre-safe, preparing the car for an effect, and lane keeping assist, to help you between the white lanes in the event you're wandering. Other popular upgrades include metallic paint, the common online multimedia system, a 360-degree parking camera package, an added individual seat from the middle row, a good side awning and auxiliary heating to warm the cabin on chilly nights. All models get 6 airbags as standard. Marco Polo can tell in case you're drowsy. Top 5-star rating by Urine. Although the Marco Polo relies on an industrial vehicle, it comes with lots of safety equipment as standard to maintain you and your family protected from harm. There is really a slew of technology to stop you having an accident inside first place, as well as some reassuring features to maintain you safe if the worst should happen. Every model is sold with attention assist to know if the driver is behaving within a fashion in accordance with being dozy, plus the side wind assist system will automatically counter strong gusts to produce sure it tracks straight and true even during high winds. There are also gadgets to watch tire pressure and ESP stability control quells early signs of skids to stop you sliding off the road in slippery conditions. If you actually have an impact, every seat includes 3-point seatbelts as standard, while front seat passengers will likely be protected by front and side airbags to minimize injury inside an accident. The V-Class Marco Polo won an extraordinary 5-star rating within an independent crash test by Urine, with very good scores for adult and child protection. Mercedes-Benz has one from the best reputations for safety technology inside world. Our judgment is that this is the very safe vehicle of that type. It's unfortunate the main sliding door is for the right-hand flank. It deposits your passengers into the traffic inside UK, which is often a questionable hazard. That is obviously no problem in left-hand drive markets, for example Germany, the place that the Marco Polo got its start. How many ISOFIX baby car seats can I fit in the Mercedes Marco Polo camper van? There are 2 ISOFIX attachments within the rear bench to clamp the automobile seats of the nearest, smallest and dearest safely. If you order the optional 5th individual seat, that too is sold with an ISOFIX attachment for an additional pair child seat. A huge boot, large passenger compartment. Only 4 seats as standard, or 5 as option. Packaging trails VW California's in small details. The Marco Polo is predictably huge inside. While the top row offers generous space, it's within the middle the spot that the bulk of room is. It's huge in here. Passengers inside rear row will likely be treated to acres of room in order to stretch out. However, it truly is worth noting that Mercedes only delivers the Marco Polo, which has a single rear bench seat, offering 2 pews. It's a waste that a vehicle this big only is included with 4 seats as standard. You can, however, decide to order 1 more rear seat, which clips in the sliding floor rails, to produce a 5th berth. This is often A, expensive, and B, mucks around using the layout on the interior somewhat. The boot is predictably huge at 670 litres, though the space is split in 2 with the rear bench, bed. You can store luggage above and below it, but remember how the 2 standard deck chairs gobble up valuable load space. The VW California rival cleverly stows these within the, admittedly heavy, tailgate. Campers need lashings of storage space, plus the Marco Polo delivers in spades. You will discover cupboards and cubbies over the cabin, with lots of space to hold the clobber of camping life. The largest receptacles are under the backbench within a drawer, plus the built-in cupboard in the back along with the very well-arranged units within the cooker. A special mention towards the quality in the storage items. They may be beautifully made and also a notch higher than the alwachi impressive units from the Volkswagen California. The way that lids close and drawers slide would shame many an upmarket home kitchen. Although it shrinks around you once you drive it for the open road, the Marco Polo is really a large vehicle. It is unlikely to integrate any, nevertheless the biggest home garages, since its key dimensions attest. Parking is manufactured substantially easier from the standard fitment of an reversing camera. You can upgrade this into a 360-degree surround view camera just as one optional extra in case you regularly park in crowded spaces. The boot inside Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo should gobble up your complete luggage without an excessive amount of problem. It feels bigger, its 670-litre capacity suggests, and you are able to slide the spine bench quite a distance forwards to boost the boot space dramatically. Plus you've got lots of extra cubby holes, drawers and cupboards to allow for even more of one's luggage and camping essentials. This is one in the most practical cars imaginable, so we doubt you'll trouble its load lugging skills, even for the long family week away.